Can you feel the vibe? Huh. Devil Flyer available on Fund My Comic right now. Limited time only. Come in, sit down, enjoy yourself. It's a 4 o'clock shadow. Even went a little bit early to play the trailers. Get all that good stuff out of the way. You can get a damn dirty thing right now, delivered to your house. Back at the day. Back at the day. Do it. No, you want to. It's the weekend. If not, wake up, wake up.
Our brethren are already in the field. Why stand we here idle? What is it the gentlemen wish? What would they have? Is life so dear, or peace so sweet? Has to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. Others. But as for me, give me liberty or give me death.
Hello everyone, this is Vinny Tartamella, and this is The Art of Vinny Tartamella, Volume 3. This book will be 64 pages. I am the creator of Shadow of the Kraken, creator of City of Venus, Dead City, and co-creator of Through the Woods, and I have a ton of amazing projects. This book is going to be loaded with awesome drawings, sketches, super detailed ink pieces, and full color illustrations. And as a bonus, I'm going to have a sneak peek at City of Venus, Dead City 2 in this book as well. So a couple of awesome pages and panels and things to whet the appetite. I hope you guys will stay tuned for that one. That book is going to be 52 pages.
Whet
More
the
story, more
appetite.
artwork. You're going to get it. So thank you so much for all your support. Again, this book will be 64 pages, so bigger than the first 2 volumes. Back this book today.
We're rocking the weekend. Oh, yeah. And here we are. It is the weekend, and it is sunny, and it is bright, and the mosquitoes are out, and one nailed me right on the forearm, right there, man. And you don't even feel them bite. You know, I think they're T90. Yes, that is the word. I just made it up. No dice from Instagram. Okay, send you the link. I was wondering. Put it right there in the chat for you, Shadowhawk. Hello, it is the weekend. It's Saturday. Does it feel like Saturday to you? It certainly does to me. I woke up, got out of bed, dragged a comb across my head, barely. I looked at the clock and panicked. I was like, oh, man, I'm late, because I was supposed to meet John Ferlandez, who's my artist on Devil Flyer, the story, and did some wonderful trading card for that everybody will be getting. Haven't printed those up yet. I need to probably put that next on the agenda. Simply trying to get some of the trading cards out of the way, which we have done. Yesterday I picked up promo card number 3 for the campaign. John Dillard artwork on both of these. Looking very nice from Momentum Concepts, Momentum Comics. Bystander Fractured Reality promo card. These will be very limited. Not everybody will be getting them, and you'll be sorry, but everybody had the opportunity to get one. Mark Largent in the house. Mark Largent alert. I'm wearing the red shirt. Don't beat me down to the planet. Please, danger, Will Robertson. Danger. And we've got Shadowhawk's Blanky. Hey, Shadowhawk. And his sock feet. Something going on there, yeah. He might have beamed down to the planet and got consumed by ego or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like he's already snuffed it.
Yeah, he's already snuffed it. This is not a snuff film. Please, YouTube, do not take us down because of Mark Largent comments. Yeah.
I didn't mention the film thing. You mentioned that.
Yeah, I got to see Eternals today with my friend John. It wasn't as long as what he said it was going to be. He was saying that it was like 3 hours, and it was like 2 hours and 30, almost 40 minutes. 30 something, 40, and some change.
My memory of that was I think they could have made it more interesting if it wasn't just 1, 2, 3, 4. If they maybe if they'd started off with us not knowing who they were,
Yeah.
and then maybe pulling in that backstory, I think that would have been a little more interesting.
Well, they kept going back and forth through time, right? The ancient Babylon here, South America there. And one time they didn't tell you till the scene was over, I think, and it was confusing. When they first arrive in Mesopotamia, and they got the blue gates there with the bulls and everything, they had the fight with the deviants. They didn't tell you if that was modern day, because that wall is still there. It's still iconic, over there.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit confusing, but I will say this: as far as the Eternals, I thought it was, of course, challenge your concept. Do you believe in secularism? I think there was even a portrait there outside in the hallway at Cersei's classroom and the portrait was of Charles Darwin, I believe. I might be wrong about that, but I believe it was Charles Darwin. I think I've seen enough pictures of him to know him when I see him. And you challenge your view on God, or do where does or gods with a small little g, and there was a lot of it raised more ethical questions than probably any Marvel movie, I would say, but it kind of contradicted it more than any Marvel movie I've seen too, because it did ask such big questions.
Didn't it literally start with "in the beginning"?
Yes, it did. And the one that was the constructor, the building of like the plow and the steam engine and things like that could do the construction. I've watched him recently in a couple of the he kind of plays the conspiracy theorist in the Godzilla movies that's come out.
Okay.
Like Godzilla, he was in Godzilla, I believe, and then Godzilla King of Monsters or something like that. He's kind of the conspiracy theorist, but now he was the one that could construct things, energy, whatnot. He was there at Hiroshima. They had Hiroshima, and he's like lamenting over the death. I did this. I gave man technology to destroy themselves. And yet at the same time, he says they don't deserve to live. Well, which is it? You're sorry and lamenting that they died, and you're blaming yourself, but now you're saying they don't deserve to live, meaning humans. You couldn't get more stark than I think that statement in the movie, because there was this push-pull. Should humanity die? Should we protect humanity? There was this, should we serve our master who made us a synthetic being and sent us on a mission to Earth here throughout man's history? And I get it. It's a slow rolling plan, right? Takes centuries to come about. Spoilers, if you haven't watched the movie, there's or used to be, by the end of the movie, there's a celestial in the heart of the earth wanting to be birthed eventually.
Yes, which I thought that was kind of the coolest part of it, was that they actually did have that giant celestial, and that he appears again in the latest Captain America movie, and they discover that he's made of adamantium.
Okay, say that again, because that went over my head. You're saying in the Falcon Captain America movie?
Right, the Brave New World one. They actually have a big fight all around him sticking out of the water.
So the celestial was turned from Cersei. Cersei turned him into adamantium.
Right. So the part of the plot was that the nations were fighting over getting the substance from them.
And where was that located? I mean, where were they at? They were at the beach, but where were they at? I forget. Do you remember?
I'm going to assume it's the Pacific Ocean, but I don't recall now what they said. because they were
Yeah.
fighting with Japan.
Did you like go all AI on us for that icon?
Yeah, I
What
did.
the heck?
I did an AI thing where I asked it to put me in Casablanca, so it gave me this serious thing. But I had tried to hook up my phone to use
3
my
words.
camera.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Oh, you're testing me
Marks went all AI. Wow.
now?
An animator goes all AI. What the hell?
Well, I haven't gone all AI with animation. I'm actually working on a music video now that I'm working on the characters for, which is not AI. I'm still doing it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Well, old-fashioned.
I know. I'm just
What?
But,
What in the world?
Hey, Shadow.
Uh-oh. I think we saw a Shadow nose.
There we go.
Well, he is like scenario. Really?
Cyrano.
Diversion.
Cyrano.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
A noble
Sometimes I
name.
have to. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it only took
I
6
mean,
times of trying to get into StreamYard. That's not bad.
there's different ways that scenario could have been played out, Mark, like you know the story. Welcome to the show, Shadowhawk. Hope you're having a
Sorry,
great
what movie
day.
was that you were talking about, Rex? I missed the-
Eternals. I went and watched that with
Eternals.
John and got bit on the arm by a mosquito. Damn it.
Really? This late in the year?
This late in the year. I've had snow on the ground, Mark, and a mosquito in my kitchen. I kid you not. And
So
they're
do you blame
silent and
yourself for
deadly.
this?
Huh?
As a mosquito killer, do you blame yourself for the fact that there's still mosquitoes around?
No, I killed them by the trillions. Okay. I take, I only do what I'm told, and if they don't want us to work a year round, that's on them.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're bad, but it's the one that gets you that you wonder what's going on,
Right.
that they're even still around. It is warmer, but now it's supposed to get down to like 30 something this weekend. I mean, maybe starting tonight. So it's been okay today, nice and sunny as you could see when I started, the sunshine was coming in on my face, but now it's supposed to turn cold, bone chilling, my knees hurt and elbows and whatnot.
Yeah, I haven't looked to see what it's going to do here, but we're not that far away, so it's probably going to be similar.
Now, Mark, I would like to, in Shadow, I would like to announce the pandemic is over. It is officially over. And you ask me how I know that it's over and people shouldn't be wearing masks.
How do you know?
How is it that you know?
Well, I went to the store, okay, and not only did I get Snickerdoodle cookie popcorn, which I will try later in the stream, because I like
how many
stuff
things
like
can
that.
you add to popcorn?
Right, I like the dark chocolate sea salt drizzle or something like that. It's with caramel or something. I mean, you can look, man. If it's coffee, you can put whatever you want in it, right, Mark? But if it's popcorn, all of a sudden, Mark Largent hates on it. What the hell? Or questions it. Nobody ever comes. Why are you putting that into your latte or your coffee? Nobody ever questions that. But when it comes to popcorn, Largent's a snob. Got it. Yeah. Rex is feisty today.
Butter, nothing else.
How do I know? I know because when I was checking out and I thought, okay, mom sent me for a couple items and gave me a little bit of money. And I went to the store and got a few provisions and said, oh, haven't seen coffee, normal coffee, not vanilla or something else like that. But this Hawaiian Islands, and I've tried it before. And I picked up maybe about 6 of them, not a lot, right? But I get up to checkout. She takes the first one and goes, pandemic's over. No, she didn't say that. But if you're going to be intimate, you can't, this is with my coffee, I mean, and sniff it and maybe lick it and rub your germs on it. I mean, then the pandemic's over, right? I mean,
I guess
she was sniffing my coffee and she's going, is this coffee? Duh. It says light roast. You can read, can't you? Why do you have to
Maybe not.
sniff my goods?
I guess you wanted to know what it smelled like.
I guess, but you can't smell through this thing. This is that foil. You know, you can't even get a whiff, a hint of what it is, you know? So, I mean, she had to ask me, is this coffee? Read the damn label instead of sticking it in your nostrils, you know, and wiping your nose off. Maybe she had an itch there. I don't know. When you start seeing employees do that, all the fear is gone. All the fear is gone. The pandemic's over. People are back to normal. Thank God.
Or abnormal.
Speaking
Or
of
abnormal, yeah, they are that.
Roger Rabbit keychain from the
Robber Rabbit. Yeah.
So
if
here's
he goes
the
bad, we can call him Robber Rabbit.
I just found out this.
Pick him out.
Apparently, part of the 1976 copyright law gives authors the right to get their properties back after 35 years if it's not a work for hire. So Gary K. Wolf, who wrote the book Who Censored Roger Rabbit, which is what they turned into Who Framed Roger Rabbit, he just got the rights back. He owns Roger Rabbit again. Disney does not.
Oh, good.
Wow.
That's good. Cool.
And I've been looking, and they're the two guys who wrote Tremors. They just got that property back. Apparently, a bunch of musicians have been getting their songs back from these places. I don't understand exactly how the the like button for Mark and Shadow is not correct.
He's snarky like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never heard of this before, and apparently it's starting to happen with frequency. So my question is, how far does this go? Can Lucas's kids in however many years come and take Star Wars back from Disney?
I wouldn't think so, because I mean, there's, I don't know.
They might have a claim.
So with the Roger Rabbit thing, because I saw an interview with the guy, since it's a law, Disney can't even contest it. They just have to say, okay, you apparently just write a letter to the Library of Congress. They write back and say, here's your copyright back, and you send a letter terminating their rights to Disney, and you're done. So he can still turn around and do a movie with Disney if he wants to.
Right.
But that would be a new deal.
If Disney wants to re-release an anniversary Roger Rabbit thing or something that they've already done, I think they had a TV cartoon there for a little while, didn't they? If they want to run that, then don't they have to pay the creator or get permission from him?
I would assume that they would have to get permission from. Now, it's only in the United States because it's a U.S. law, so it doesn't change things overseas. But I really wonder, because I found out that's why we got a new Spinal Tap movie, was because the guys got the rights back to Spinal Tap. Now they can make a movie and keep most of the money.
And how did this come about now? Was this a state thing? This is a national thing, right?
This is the 1976 copyright law, right. The one that Sonny Bono did. Was it Sonny Bono? I think it was Sonny Bono. But anyways, as part of that, now that's for works that were created after January 1st, 1978. If they were created before then, it's 56 years.
Okay, so Star Wars came out in 1977. So that movie
there you go. Yeah, they wouldn't be. Yeah. Maybe they could get Empire Strikes Back, but
and the others.
That's how the Siegel family briefly got half the rights to Superman back.
Yeah,
was because of the 56-year thing, and they lost it on appeal because Warner Brothers had been giving them benefits or something. And they basically they said okay, well, look, the fact that they've been giving you this, you basically agreed
to
let them have the rights. So they lost it again. That was after Siegel had died, though. But yeah, they were saying. I think I read that Prince, before he died, renegotiated a deal based on the fact that he could take all of his money, all of his works back after 35 years. It seems very mysterious, very suspicious to me that we just had a Beetlejuice movie 36 years after the original Beetlejuice.
Right,
which makes
but they're
me
remaking everything now. They're even the
Well, but what
Braveheart and the Passion.
Yeah,
Right.
but what I'm thinking is maybe they had to pay money to keep the Beetlejuice rights, and then because they had to spend the money, they wanted to recoup their loss.
Yeah, I mean, see, when Shadowhawk said that about about Star Wars, it's like, well, he sold them. He agreed in a contract, all this he got billions of dollars.
Yeah, I got four,
Right, yeah. So
just like Marvel
4.05 or something, because he wanted more than they paid for Marvel.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the wonder. But see, it's a law, so I wonder, can you put in a contract saying in 35 years I will not come back and do this?
And Prince might have been pretty smart with that, but he had no living will, and he was worth about $300 million upon his death. That came out after his death, and the government swept in and got $150 million of it, about half of it.
Wow!
Simply because he didn't have a living will and didn't designate where the money should go to. They came in with the taxes or whatever and raked them over the coast with the death tax, I guess.
So
among other
people
things.
now are
Everything
using
they
the
could get,
law.
which is
If
crazy.
you were going to do something, like if you were going to buy something that would fall under this law, would you say? I mean, that's a heck of a risk to spend any amount of money if in 35 years the artist can just yank it back from you.
Yeah.
But now it doesn't apply to work for hire. So all the comic book people are screwed.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's basically what got Siegel and Schuster. And then also, they accepted some kind of little penance that DC at some time, people like Neil Adams and others saying, hey man, these guys
I want to say at the time
starving
that
and
got a
forgot.
deal that they got like $30,000 a year or something like that, which in the 70s wasn't bad. I mean,
no, it wasn't.
Joe Shuster was legally blind,
and
Siegel was working in the mailroom at the company I think his daughter worked at. He was struggling. So for them, and the biggest thing they got was that their names were back on it.
Right. But now I only see one of the names out of the two when I see Superman stuff today.
Oh no, it says created by.
Does it say both?
And Joe Shuster.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they've added Bill Finger to Batman.
Oh yeah, and they should. Yeah. I mean, Bob Kane's not here to contest that. I mean, he took credit for a lot of stuff,
Well, you know what the thing was, because Bob Kane was only like 18 when he did that first Batman comic. His father was a lawyer, so he didn't get screwed the way Siegel and Schuster did, because his father was like, let me look at the contract.
Yeah.
So contractually, DC could only give Bob Kane credit.
Yeah.
That was
and Hale Drenko in the chat. Good to see you.
I mean, I kind of get that. I kind of get that, but it's like, and there's also Jerry, what's his name too, that worked on Batman and contributed a lot to it.
Jerry Robinson.
Yeah. Jerry Robinson as well. Bill Finger and Jerry Robinson created a lot of the mythos.
I don't fault Bob Kane the way a lot of people do, because that's the way you did it in comic strips. You'd have these comic strip artists who would hire writers, inkers, and all kinds of guys to draw the background or whatever, but it would still say by them. They didn't give credit to their assistants. So I'm sure he viewed it from that way, but but yeah, clearly he benefited from people.
Well,
who
there's
were actually
business and there's ethics, right? And then there's supposed to be the ethics of business too, which I
Right.
don't pretend to understand. But
well,
you know.
we can go back to the whole, Stan Lee refusing to give Steve Ditko co-creator credit for Spider-Man.
I've heard different stories on that, but I mean,
Well, I watched that there was a documentary where some guy from England came over and tried to interview Steve Ditko, and he interviewed Stan Lee, and he said, and Stan was acknowledging all the stuff Steve did, and he said, well, so would you call Steve Ditko the co-creator of Spider-Man?
I've seen that. Yeah.
Stan was like, no.
Yeah. He thinks that the creator of it is the one that came up with the concept of it. And it's like Ditko within his own comics said, okay, here's Stan's vision, which was a blank panel, and then here's mine, which actually put
and
legs.
Stan would have a meeting with somebody and
but
say,
then I've also heard that Stan was willing to give him and they turned him down. So I don't know.
I think later on he probably felt, because I'm sure.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sure he hated how it went with Jack Kirby.
I mean, I kind of get it as a writer, but then also as an artist, I'm like, yeah, you got to have somebody envision the thing for you too. Right. So co-creator, a collaboration. I'm perfectly.
Stan wasn't writing scripts. He just have a meeting,
right?
Throw out some ideas, and then they bring.
Well,
back
that's another thing too, right? A concept. Like if I said, "Ooh, Sea Demon," okay, got the name. If I never put any artwork or anything to nail that thing down, I can't get a copyright.
Right. Well, now let's go with the complicated one that was controversial a little while ago. Roy Thomas claiming some credit for the creation of Wolverine, because he said he was the editor on the comic. He said, I want a super villain or hero or whatever. I want him to be called Wolverine, and he's from Canada. And they went and did that. And as editor, he didn't take any credit. But now he's saying, well, look, I told them, I basically gave them this thing. I named them and everything.
Right.
And a lot of people were angry about it.
Well, you had to somehow take that ideal and solidify it, which they did.
Yeah.
But and I understand you're all learning, right? I just read a thing where the actress that got together with Clark Gable and like she was like later in life, maybe in her 70s or 80s, and she said, I was date raped. That's how our daughter was born.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the concept of what date rape was back then, and I can understand that, but at such a because you have an epiphany, you get, new knowledge, and you look back and
there was,
but I wonder why.
So you wouldn't want to admit.
I wonder why Roy Thomas waits so long. I know it was a slow road but in the 80s, I would have been speaking up because that's when he really started to take off as a character.
Well, I think part of it was he said that because he's told the story before, he's just never asked for credit.
Right.
So I think it was because Lin Win was gone.
Yeah. Well,
so I think he waited until he was gone before he did it. And I'm not even sure, maybe Roy at this age is looking to get some bucks because, they're, that Deadpool Wolverine was one of the most successful movies of the year. And,
well, I mean, there needs to be some kind of, and creators have always done that, right? They're like, because there's been creators that have went through long-term illness, or long-term treatment, they're unable to work anymore. And they've been taken care of, I know, through certain things that have been set up, but it's still not enough.
Well, I think the tricky part is you're working for a company. So you can't really, take full credit for anything because it's a team of people who are working on it. And, do we know for sure that that Steve Ditko did a color version of the Spider-Man costume? Did they hand it to a colorist who decided to make
Right.
the color choices? We don't
That's
know.
the thing about it. It's a collaborative effort. Do we
Yeah.
not know? I mean, do we
Well,
not
I
know?
mean, look at wasn't the original Galactus like green or something?
Oh yeah, there was green and red. Yeah, look, and
Yeah.
he's had more skin exposed. His knobby knees and his arms, and
Right.
it wasn't a full costume. But I mean,
But then then somebody decided, oh well, he's purple or whatever. But does that colorist have any right to say that they helped create Galactus?
And who directed, or is it the guy that directed them here? Color it by this,
Exactly. Did somebody come in and say,
yeah, because they're just doing a job. I mean, that's why you have that contract. But is it a fair and equitable? I think that's what we're really talking. Was it really fair
Right.
and equitable at the time? And yeah, they were getting people to. I mean, you could say that. Recently, we talked about Carmen Infantino and bringing over Philippine artists like Nino and others and going through, I think, Dazinga and paying the American rate, but he was taking everything except $5 a page
right,
for the
yeah,
page rate. And eventually they collected enough money or came to America to make it easier on themselves or whatever. And then when they came to America, of course, they get the American rate, which at the time, I think $50 a page. But that wasn't fair and equitable. That wasn't.
right.
But again, it's the bottom line. And even then, even them trying to save money that way, they still had the big purge in 1978 at DC Comics. Of titles being dropped, and really comics were in a lull starting in the 80s, and then the black and white boom happened, the Ninja Turtles and other things happened, and the direct market, and then Image happened, and then the bubble burst, and here we are.
But then even with Wolverine, John Romita was the one who redrew his mask on the cover of Giant Size X-Men or whatever, and
John Romita Sr.
Yeah, John Romita Sr. was the one.
Well, now, wasn't he a creator of Wolverine? I mean, didn't he do the
I don't
initial
think he
drawings
was the
of
creator.
Wolverine and Punisher? I've seen
No, who's the artist in those two?
Herb Trimpe.
It was Herb Trimpe. So wouldn't he have been? Well, unless maybe
there was an initial design handed down.
Yeah, like
I'm not
Dave
really.
Cockrum designed the costumes for a lot of people. Because Dave Cockrum had like a giant folder.
Yeah, Nightcrawler was
in
going
there
to be part of the Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah. So people would go through and flip through his costume designs and pick up things and use it for
like
characters.
bell bottoms. I remember when the Legionnaire women had bell bottoms.
It was the time.
Yeah, back in the 70s, I drew a character called Meteor Girl that could shoot these fragments out of her fingertips, but she had bell bottom like blue jeans. I have not yet recreated her, but I will.
I hated when they started redesigning costumes in the late 80s and giving them those new wave looks.
Hey, Mark, do you want to sniff my coffee? I had to get that question out of the way.
Well, is COVID officially over?
Well, I think it is when you got employees, like being that intimate with the food that you want to buy.
Yeah,
I don't even want to know what she did to my Snickerdoodle popcorn.
Yeah. But yeah, especially when they didn't realize this was going to be a thing, because they weren't giving anybody credit for anything back in the early days of comics.
Right.
You weren't even allowed to sign your name to the.
It was kind of like sweatshop. I kind of think,
Well, you know, that's what they actually, there was money to be made in churning out comic pages. So you get 4 or 5 artists who would form a studio and put out as many of them as they could, because you could have one guy drawing the figures, one guy drawing the backgrounds, one guy doing the lettering.
Oh yeah, yeah.
doing
In a rush, you might have
Right, and if you can get, if they're paying a decent amount for those pages, which at the time it relatively was, the more you could get out, and those guys could churn out a comic book in a weekend or something.
Well, you know, maybe there needs to be a public forum where I understand why Marvel and DC, especially now, wouldn't want to sit down and do it. But where does creator rights begin and end, and negotiate the best contract now and forevermore? Of course, the law is never quite set, but you know, you could definitely get closer and probably head off some future lawsuits if you sit down and do the right thing, right?
Yeah. Well, isn't it that they refer to them now? They don't give them when one of their characters gets used in a movie or something. They give them something, but they don't acknowledge it as official. They say this is just kind of a bonus. Because they don't want to start getting into that point of saying you own this percentage of that character. But yeah, I'd never heard of this 35-year rule before, and it's fascinating to me because even the Gary K. Wolf guy, the guy who with the Roger Rabbit, he had never heard to it. Somebody contacted him who was a lawyer and said, this is coming up. And apparently you do have a window that if you don't do it within the window, you lose that right. So you do have to be aware of it.
Put it into play.
Right. So I'm sure there's some people who are like kicking themselves because they didn't know about it and missed their opportunity. But I know I was reading too that Gail Ann Hurd claimed co-creator of Terminator. She tried to do that, and I'm assuming she's getting paid something because Cameron made a deal with I think it was Skydance. So I don't think she got her 50% of the rights, but I'm sure she's being well paid.
Bless you. Bless you.
Moon guy.
Dave, what are you doing?
Whoops, sorry about that.
Good to hear Fanta is doing better. Yeah, I mean she's responding to comments. I left one in August for her, and she left a heart, because I said I loved her back in August. So her sons are probably, helping negotiate and catch up, navigate, not negotiate, her comments because, she is legally blind. I sent her a couple messages during the summer. I am hoping and praying she will be able to communicate in some other way soon. Yeah, absolutely. We wish her only the best after her strokes, and she's going through rehab and everything. And as far as Gable Pennyshot, I think he's working a lot, but we haven't heard Gable chime in a while. I've been wondering about him myself, but I know he works a lot, making that money, but you would,
sure
I mean, he used to be a regular every day here, right?
Almost, yeah.
Almost, yeah. I would say every day there for a long time. Or almost every day. But I think he's gotten so busy, he's probably still watching, but not commenting. But you'd think he'd chime in and leave a comment every now and then, at least after the broadcast. But I mean, Mark's using that AI now. Look at that. He's joined the club. He's drinking the bourbon with you.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
You're just intimidated by how serious I look in that.
I am. That stare, it's like,
it's like I'm the head of
bringing
some
some
secret
important
intelligence
topics.
company.
Eric, your voices. Always good to discuss these matters. Absolutely. You as a creator have rights,
Well, I think we all grew up knowing about Siegel and Schuster. And that was such a Superman was so successful, and to think that these guys got, screwed over.
Right. Well, Marvel had the Curtis magazines that came out back in the early 70s and stuff, and they came out with a character called Hell Rider for 2 issues. Now, upon publication, they did not have the right, restricted markings, copyright, whatever. They did not do that. So upon the publication, it became public domain immediately.
Yeah.
And all the
you remember
characters
that
in it.
happened to Night of the Living Dead. When they redid the title card for the film, somebody forgot to put the copyright notice on it.
Yeah.
And so Night of the Living Dead went into public domain.
Then that's important for a creator to know. If you do not, and you put it out there, boom, it becomes public domain immediately.
Right.
You lose all rights. I mean, you can still use it, but so can anybody else.
Yeah.
So if they want to put it in a porn movie, they can.
It's important to exercise your rights. Yeah.
Eric and Boyd said, I was so disappointed today. I went to Hobby Lobby just to look around. Unfortunately, I saw some posters and canvas prints, obviously rendered by AI.
I think that's the genie's bottle is open on that. There's nothing is stopping. And I've also seen on Facebook, they're already starting to advertise these 3D Christmas tree ornaments that are really just a flat piece of acrylic that they print the 3D thing on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and people get completely taken by these, and it's at such a level now.
I mean, it is a faster way to render things, right?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, because it's instant, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, it might take a couple of minutes, but
it's programmed. I mean, yeah.
And most of these companies that are pulling these scams are out of China or something. So when you get it and find out it's not what you thought it was, they'll say, you can ship it back to us, but it costs you more to ship it back than it would cost.
Exactly. Often the product is much smaller than what you thought it was. Scale is a thing.
Yeah.
You think you're going to get this
definitely using
big thing and it's small.
AI for the product shots to make it look like some elaborate thing that's then, some simple thing that they were able to put together.
Mm-hmm.
In real life.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not even sure AI needs good, the images you create. What's the word I'm thinking of? 300 DPI, 400 DPI. What's the word? Resolution.
Resolution. Yeah, they tend to be relatively low resolution, but then there's AI that will upscale things for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So is even Devil Flyer, I don't want to get that started with any of my characters, but I want to protect my characters and their likenesses. So it's like, you almost need to be as secretive as possible about what you create nowadays, it seems like.
But so far,
otherwise they could take what you got, even low res, put it into something, extrapolate from it, and come up with something.
Sure, well, so far,
design.
I don't think the U.S. Copyright Office recognizes generative AI because it doesn't think that it was created by a human. So the danger is if you want to put all of your effort into creating AI images, you don't really own those from a copyright sense.
Say that again, Mark.
So the U.S. Copyright Office has not recognized generative AI yet. So if I created even this image and I want to put it on a poster, somebody else could print that same poster because I can't copyright the image.
Right. I mean, there's we last night on another stream, we were talking about just government in general over on the shit show with Janet from Another Planet, a regular on there now, and at least for a little while. And Vinny Tarnamella was out, and he's right about this. We need legislation in this country about AI immediately, and also government intrusion and over the internet. Keep government out of that and free speech,
Well, the trick is, as long as you can't copyright it, then you can't own it. So there, that's how you make money off of it is having ownership of it. And if you were to make I think they have said that, like, if you do a story, that you can copyright the story, but the imagery, it wasn't created by people. But maybe that's going to change coming down the road, and then you have to wonder too.
Again, it's who programmed it in? It's like, who came up with the original idea without me as editor giving you the name Wolverine and blah blah blah? You would have nothing. So,
well, and if you were to create some AI image that went viral, and you thought, okay, I'm gonna put this on T-shirts, I'm gonna put this on all this stuff. Who all can try to claim ownership of it? I mean, if you can't get a copyright of it, can Midjourney or ChatGPT or whoever owns the AI claim ownership of it?
Just use the AI image as a reference and replicate it on paper. That should make it copyrightable.
It's tricky on that, Haldir, because I think there are instances where, let's say there's a famous photo of a bridge, and you go and take another photo from the exact same angle. I don't think you can copyright that, because they've copyrighted not only just the image, but the layout, everything. So I don't know if that would work.
Yesterday I saw just the, they sued Vanilla Ice for his boom, 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 being so, the Under Pressure song by David Bowie and Queen. And he's going, well, there's a difference. There was a little, I never
changed a couple of notes.
Yeah. And they actually got a settlement outside, but obviously it was derivative, even though he was saying it was different back in the day,
Yeah, it's a little bit different, but the baseline is exactly the same.
Yeah.
And, it was sampled too, wasn't it? It wasn't even recreated, I think.
Well, I think they had a legitimate argument there, and they actually, and apparently my opinions bore out, because they actually had an out of court settlement, and actually did get some compensation.
That was also back before sampling became a thing, with all these rappers and stuff. You can do that now, but you have to give credit to.
If I'm cloning and lifting your concepts and your beats and your in music, but I mean, nothing. I mean, should there be something like that in art? I mean, because everybody has a distinctive way they paint and draw and fingerprint, and we're all unique, but at the same time, and there's great master forgers out there that gets them to a little bit of gray area, but with music it's like very distinctive. But I even saw a thing where they just did Beethoven backwards, for their iconic riff. To their song.
Well, but Beethoven,
but they played it backwards. They played it backwards.
Yeah. So can you copyright Beethoven backwards? I do not know.
Yeah.
Well, now see, that was before copyright. See, so yes, you could use that, but after copyright,
But could you claim that? by doing it backwards, I've made it different. So then I should be able to copyright it.
And he did change it up. Well, I mean, creativity is not born out in a vacuum, hardly. You do have to have some reference. Even if you just go out to God's nature, and I get a lot of inspiration from nature, things that are in the real world, right? If you're, babies that have been isolated with no human contact, they pass away, they die. You gotta have outward stimuli, right? Deep Purple, so here, let me play this for you. I'll just share this because this is on the topic, and I'll try not to blow your ears out. Let me down my volume here. Yeah. Oh, here you go, guys.
Which is not correct. It's played in fourths, rigid fourths, which is going back to the medieval times. That's how they played a lot of shorn parts, was parallel fourths. So now you have Beethoven, bum 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 bum. And I thought, play that backwards, put something to it, and you've got bum 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 bum. That's how I came up with it.
Hang on. Are you telling me?
Yes.
That the famous riff for Smoke on the Water is from Beethoven?
It's an interpretation of inversion. You turn it back and play it back and forth. It's actually Beethoven's Fifth.
Wow,
So
I never knew that.
I owe him a lot of money.
I owe him a lot of money, which, of course, he will never see, right?
Right. But there are a lot of songs based on classical music, because like you said,
sure,
it's way before copyright.
But I'm saying, creativity doesn't happen in a vacuum. We all have, if you do Kirby Crackle, oh, that's Kirby. And he might not have been the very first to do it. I don't know. I'm still researching all that, but he probably was the first to do it because they named it after him, right? But
hey, Mrs. Good Stuff. Good to see you.
Good to see you. She says, good evening, just popping by to say hello. She probably didn't say it like that. We got the kids over and some Kentucky hot browns in the oven. What's a Kentucky hot brown? Does anybody know?
I don't know. I thought maybe it was brownies.
Yeah. Browns. Okay. With plural browns. Is that like hot potatoes? Is that wings? Is that chicken wings? What is that? Nothing's new under the sun. Absolutely. Hey, Mike Walters in the house. She comes in and drops that and says, have a good night. Well, better than not dropping by at all. But yeah, that illustrates the point there. I think that nothing's new under the sun. He took Beethoven's and played it backwards, and changed it up a little bit.
Okay, there's the Kentucky hot brown sandwich.
Okay.
Which piles turkey, roasted tomatoes, cheesy Mornay sauce, bacon, and even more cheese atop a thick slice of Texas toast.
And they probably had that in their cookbook, but I didn't buy it, so I missed out. Sorry about that, Mrs. G.
It kind of looks like you put everything you got in the fridge on top of a piece of bread and bacon.
There's songs that you listen and you think the beginning riffs is that song, and then it breaks into something else. I do that all the time. Eric says, that sounds good. Yeah. if it's spelled FOOD, he says it sounds good. Now, all it has to be is it classified under food, and he says it sounds good. It does sound good, though. Yeah. Not in the cookbook. It's a local invention and typically done day after Thanksgiving turkey. Well, you're getting you're getting started early on that, Mrs. G. I hope you do have a great Thanksgiving, and I hope it's not Thanksgiving before we got new cards in, Mrs. G. Just to let you know, since you're not just now chiming in, tell your husband,
I watched a thing the other day that the earliest movie trailer they could find that had "In a World" was for Mad Max Road Warrior.
Uh-huh.
So apparently that was the first time they had "In a World," and of course, then they used it 1,000 times, and I think nobody does it anymore. And the guy Don LaFontaine, he died.
Well, I don't think I could. I want to do a fan-made movie and go in a galaxy far, far away. They'd probably nail me, right? Just for that statement.
Yeah, I think they'd get you.
Yeah, even though if it's done back in the 30s in Flash Gordon, which you can look at some of those movie serials, like Flash Gordon, it conquers the universe, and you got the scroll, and not just on that one, but you got the scroll and the music, bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
And there's
but the long, long ago in a galaxy far, far away is just the fairy tale thing. Long ago in a faraway land.
Exactly. But I'm not even sure you could do that now. It's so branded, part of the brand.
Yeah, I would think that they would own that.
Yeah. And do they individually have to go, after this terminology? Kind of like with Action Comics, I know they did a double Action Comics, so nobody could use it.
Right.
An ash can back when.
Well,
and they never used double action.
Yeah,
but
if you remember when
that.
Star Wars first came out, they used to spell out R2-D2 and C-3PO's names.
Yeah.
Because they could copyright those, but they couldn't copyright the numbers and letters, they thought.
Yeah. But now I've seen a comic book where the guy had an individual character for every letter of the alphabet, 26 characters.
Mm-hmm.
And so no, he trademarked them. So that's 26 trademarks. That's a lot of money.
That is.
To trademark that for a little known obscure indie book that probably only had one issue.
It would be a tough thing to do a new superhero, because there were people, especially in the 90s and early 2000s, who were just going around trademarking names.
Yeah. Well, look at the .com thing, right?
Somebody, yeah.
The
.com, the same thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did, I think it was about 12 logos for a guy who had just bought a bunch of domain names, and he wanted to have these logos to make it look as if he wasn't just, hoarding a bunch of names.
Right. Well, I mean, bad optics, but I mean, the 21st Century Fox, why haven't we really seen that? Why is it still 20th century? From what I understand, a gentleman with the forethought trademarked that or copyrighted it, whatever, and owned the rights to it, and he wanted too much. They didn't want to pay him for it. So they continued on and deviated and made,
Yeah, I do think there's some protection from that now, but early on, I remember the big story was there was a guy who got McDonald's.com, and his last name was McDonald.
Yeah.
So he was like, well, but clearly he knew he knew to put that S on there to make sure that McDonald's would want to pay big for it. But
so did they buy that from him? Do you know?
I would be afraid to put out a superhero name without double checking, because these guys were basically just laying in wait, hoping that Marvel or DC would put out one of these characters and they could turn around and sue them.
Yeah.
That ought to be against the law.
Well, I mean, it's like eBay says, come into an auction and don't snipe. Put your very best offer, And that's not a necessary. Okay, that's good. That's kind of like the British lining up in all red and getting slaughtered because you come up with a better strategy, guerrilla warfare. You know, hit and run.
You line up in rows and wear uniforms. We'll dress how we want to dress and hide in the woods and shoot you
with an old sense of honor, whatever. You know, this is the way it's been done for centuries. Yeah, yeah, and you lost in the end. You lost, didn't you? We kind of outlasted.
Have you noticed though that Fox films now are 20th century films, not 20th century Fox?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it was available because somebody beat them to the punch and they wanted.
No. Disney bought Fox and took it away. So Fox.
Oh, okay.
Disney bought Fox films, but not the overall company of Fox. So I think there's
I mean, there's different divisions. You got like a division for the movies. You got a different division in naming.
So Disney bought
their TV.
Disney bought the I guess the TV and movie stuff, and they dropped Fox off of it and are just calling it. It has that same stacked, 3-dimensional logo, but it's just 20th century films now, not 20th century Fox.
I have not shown him any of those. Yeah, I could show some of those. How dear, thank you for reminding me. Of course, I've shown some of the AI stuff that's on YouTube and was enamored with that till, YouTube says, oh, you can't do that,
Oh, you mean like the werewolf and stuff, the things that I put in your chair?
No, he's talking about something that they created. Let me show you. Taking a photo or from yours. It started with you. You started all this AI stuff. I blame you. And I meant to start the show by saying that Keith Gleason didn't join us yesterday, but hopefully he'll be Thursday or Friday, be able to join us. So next week. So sorry for the confusion on that. If you were confused, let's see. I'm looking for Omer Glitch because he's the one that.
Yeah, Omer had a lot more fun with those than I did.
Yeah, he gets his. I just don't get that at all. But it's what he wants to do. So, Who am I to judge? All right. Here you go, Mark.
Back Devil Flyer today and keep collecting.
So it's got the hobo body with your head on it. So you've got the nasty stains on it, and
right.
You look like
and I think Omer had put my head on there, right?
Yes, I think that was one because then
then How Dear came up with the rest of this, I believe.
Yeah.
Back Devil Flyer today and keep collecting.
Through Grok,
So you got your whiskey bottle.
Yeah. The photo of me there.
Yeah. What a great promotion for you.
Yeah. There we go. And then the beautiful young lady.
Subscribe, and back Devil Flyer today.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That'll get you some.
Yeah. Babes sell it, don't they? And what's wild is the window. I actually have a window right here. It was correctly.
We're seeing a part of your room that we've never seen before.
Yeah. Did you notice that her bum lit up? Watch this again. There's a glow on her ass.
Oh yes. Well, that's how you fly. Is your
Well, if you're Green
Your bump
Lantern, I
generates
guess.
a ton of heat and shoots out. Then.
Yeah. I can get this to do something. There we go. Maybe it's not fully on screen there.
I've been collecting comic books for years, and my favorite is definitely.
Well, that didn't. Yeah, you know she was going to say Devil Flyer. Yeah, that would be a good one.
We don't know that
finish.
you said that. Yeah,
I'm projecting, but that everybody does that on this show, apparently.
Back Devil Flyer today and keep collecting.
Yeah, that's all right.
That seems to be the same. Yeah,
some of these, be a little bit different, and have nothing to do with me. Actually, some of them Shane Davis. Yeah, like this one, Dennis Rodriguez. Yeah. But yeah, that's they took what you started and extrapolated on it. Sweetheart. RJ Williams in the house. Hello. Rex has all the women after him, Gray says. Don't we witch? Some of them are a bit glitchy. Yeah. Now I would have loved that one. You know, I've been collecting comics for years, and my favorite is Devil Flyer. I would have liked to have seen that one finished, you know. But I think you only get like 6 minutes. Or 6 seconds, rather. Yeah. And yes, he's made some pretty cool kind. I'm steering away from it. I don't have time to do it traditionally, much less get into all that yet. You know, maybe one of these days I'll have used to it.
I went to a film festival down in Houston and talked to a guy who'd made a Star Wars fan film. And am I echoing?
No, I can't hear you.
All right. And he said that, you know, because it's Star Wars, he can get lots of people to volunteer their time to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, as enticing as the AI stuff is, you just don't have any control over it. So you end up spending just as much time trying to get something decent out of it. Oh, it does say I'm echoing.
Yeah, I'm not hearing you, but I guess they are.
Let me grab some headphones.
Okay. I have Matthew Creek. He will be joining us. I hope I said his name right. He will be joining us. He couldn't do last Friday, but he's going to be on this Friday. Maybe with Keith Gleason too, but we will be talking all things Jim Starlin on Feature Friday. But it seems like Friday's a good day to have creators on, you know, that they can make it, you know, in their schedule. So what are you going to do? You double up, and they can also, you can get their comments about their work, you know, and their writing when it comes to Jim Starlin. Thank you, Haldir, for sharing out today's show on YouTube. I appreciate that.
Okay, is that where? Am I echoing now? I'm still echoing.
Well, I didn't think you were echoing the first time, so you'll have to ask the chat. Is he sounding okay now? That means Mark has to talk more.
Yeah, I'm still hearing more. Let me try to cut out and come back.
You want to bounce out and come back in?
Yeah.
So complicated. We'll talk crap about him. Okay, now. No, we won't. Okay, good time to try the hers family favorites. Let's see, Snickerdoodle cookie, artificially flavored, of course, popcorn, gluten-free though, gluten-free Shadowhawk, gluten-free. Yeah. So this is in the stores. Well, that didn't take him too long. That didn't take you too long to bounce, come back.
No. So can you hear me?
Yes, I can, and I can smell this snickerdoodle popcorn as soon as I open the bag too. Woo! Yeah, now that's worth sniffing once you open the bag. You know, maybe not the coffee in the full, but once you open this, it's like wafts over you. Wow. Yeah.
Rex, too much of that sniffing the snickerdoodle popcorn, and you will look like that hobo, and you'll be on the side of the street begging people for snickerdoodle bags.
Yeah. I would say it's got a little sweetness, but not enough taste really beyond regular popcorn to really warrant, buying it.
I bought one of those air poppers.
Yeah.
Thinking that would be a great way to, because then you could just make up a bunch. But the thing is, it doesn't have any oil on it. So like salt won't stick to it. You can get those flavors. They don't stick to it and it just all rubs off, all falls off. So I ended up not using my air popper very much.
You might have. Yeah, he was on one of those. I didn't show it. Mark is okay. He's not. That's old comment. Grace says it seems to have fixed it. Yeah, I can't recommend the Hare's snickerdoodle. It sounds better than it tastes. It's not that it's a bad taste, but there's not enough taste to it. I would rather have
an actual
plain and add butter to it or something. That would have more taste to it than this stuff. This stuff's just slightly sweet, not enough. I think they're very stingy on their cinnamon and other ingredients, because it's really the cinnamon that you smell when you open the bag.
Yeah.
I got real intimate with cookies at one point, Mark.
I don't want to hear this story.
It had fudge filling.
I don't want to hear it all about this story. You keep that to yourself, pal.
Okay. I did prison ministry for 5 years, and we were.
I don't want to hear who you were intimate with in prison and why you had cookies and fudge. I don't want to hear any part of the story.
I used the wrong word, but we were every time we went down there, we were expected to make 100 dozen cookies. Not 100 cookies, not 1,000 cookies, but 100 dozen cookies. You do the math.
How many prisoners were there?
Well, we gave. It was a fairly large prison, medium security prison. I can't remember how many they had housed there. Quite a bit, but we would also give cookies to the guards as well that would let us in and things like that, have them bagged up and of course that was a big treat for everybody, right? And we would do that. Let's see, we would go Thursday night. I guess we would do that Saturday, Sunday, and we would do that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and might give the inmates immediately some cookies. I think we put some of those out for them, but the only thing is you can't have anything they can ferment, like raisins or fruit of any kind.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because they can make, and they will make, hooch out of it.
Yeah.
So
how long would it take to make 100 dozen cookies?
It takes a while. I did a lot of no-bake cookies. My mother showed me how to make take chow mein noodles and melt the chocolate in a double boiler and then just kind of spoon them out, put the noodles in the chocolate and then it dries like a thorn cookie. Kind of looks like and yeah, they're actually pretty good, the chow mein noodles and the chocolate. And I would do a lot of Mississippi mud cookies or mud cookies, as we call them. You've had those, I know, because you were down in the South.
Yep.
And some people put M&Ms in them. I've never, you know, if you put enough peanut butter in them and make them gooey, oh my God, you know, where they're just almost falling apart. But now, you know, some people, some person made, so you would elicit help, right? For your different churches. Can you make me a dozen cookies? Still, that's a lot of cookies. You know, I know my mother one time did 600, since I was working at the rescue mission. And even then I took time to make cookies, but especially once I listed the help of another person, we did them there in Paragould, at his church, Catholic. You know, we had all denominations in on that. You know, it was started by the Methodist here in Arkansas, but now in other states it might have been started by some other denomination. You know, it just depends on who started the chapter when, you know, for that. And we weren't in all 50 states, sadly, but yeah, we were, you know, oh man, those peanut butter cookies. Oh man, I tell you what, somebody made peanut butter cookies real thin, this big. I ate 15 like that at the table. I ate 15 like that. You know, I wasn't, the inmates and the guards weren't the only ones eating the cookies.
I was about to say, you're making all these cookies to bring to the prisoners, and then you're eating 15 of them.
Well, I mean, yeah, once they bring them to the table, you know, where we sit and have discussions. Yeah. You can get your hands on some of them. You know, you just have to make sure you have enough for the weekend, you know, for the whole 3.5 days, basically.
So you're saying that's a lot. They really needed 100 dozen because you were going to eat about a half of them.
And there's probably 40 of you on the team. So you've got, that's, how much is that? I don't even know. I do 100 and you got 40 people, 100 dozen. That's a lot of, I mean, that's in what, a million? That's well over 1 million cookies, right? I mean, that's a bunch that you're making up. I one time drove not only my cookies, but a couple other people's cookies down there. And I didn't eat an air freshener for a while in that car. I had like a Bronco, and I think that's what I took it down in there. I had a lot of space in the back, you know, put the seats down and everything. I drove 600 and like 600 600 when it gets up like that, I don't even know, 600 and a half, that 100,000 cookies, dozen cookies.
Yeah, I was going to say 100 times 12.
The better part of 1 million cookies, or dozens of cookies. More than that, probably 1 million cookies at least. I had in my vehicle.
I think that's an exaggeration.
Well, if you've got 600 and a half, if you got 50,000 and 600,000, what's that? 650,000. That's dozen. That's dozen though.
Yeah. I just did the thing. You said 100 times 12 times 40. That's 480,000.
Okay, is it? Okay, so not quite a 500,000.
Yeah. An enormous amount of cookies.
It depended on how many people were on the team. I would say 40 bare minimum. Maybe the most around 50, maybe 53 that I served, if memory serves me right. But still, that's a lot of cookies. That's a lot of cookies. Yeah, and ultimately you get and when we were doing it, they were all supposed to be hand done in the kitchen, but for some reason, actually, right before I was supposed to go in and head up, I had trained and head my weekend up and actually head the thing up, keep everybody on schedule. Wouldn't you like to be there and see that? We had to cancel it because you couldn't. We had whole lasagna meals frozen and stuff. Of course, we had other things that they could go to, but the Arkansas Departments of Corrections did a ginsaki on us and turned the whole thing around and said, you can only bring in store-bought cookies. Well, that's a lot of money. And we've already got all these others made up. We've got whole meals made up and frozen ahead of time. And we couldn't bring any of that in. So
was that because they needed to inspect them to make sure you didn't put
maybe, yeah, they changed the whole thing right before, and it blew me out of the water. So it wasn't meant to happen, and I never went back and did anything after that. That was the end of it for me. Even though I was fully trained to head up a weekend, it's like, they totally changed it, and I was like, yeah, I'm out, and other things were going on. So, yeah, I mean, it was a good ministry while it lasted, for me, and that didn't end prison ministry for me. I went to a local prison here because that prison that we went down, it was 6-hour drive away. That's one way.
Wow.
So driving down there, touching the wall, or just showing up in the parking lot, and driving back's 12 hours.
Yeah.
That's not any of the time you're spending there, which might be a couple hours, 2-3 hours.
So did you drive? Did you drive the 6 hours to find out that you had to have store-bought cookies? And
we were contacted, but we were actually doing training. I'd brought in some people I knew. That was the great thing about it. The person that heads it up is, brings his own friends in. Now you get as many people who's done those and is experienced with it as you can, so that you're not really training some newbies. But I did bring in some newbies, and unfortunately they never got to experience, they got to experience some of the training, but they never got to really go in, as far as I remember, which really stunk because I, really wanted to help the ministry out and get new people in and interested in it. Because there are a lot of people that go like, they get what they deserve. I'm not interested in prison ministry. And it's like, hey, man, maybe you need to read the scriptures. It says, when I was in prison, you visited me. Either there's forgiveness or there's not. That's the way I look at it, right?
Yeah.
And anything can be forgiven. Maybe not forgotten, but forgiven, and I'm not a big proponent of, hey, because there's a lot of scammers. There's a lot of, bad people in prison, right? And fortunately, God kept me safe. What else? What other AI stuff you got?
To the paths we choose and the ones we don't. Cheers.
Oh. Yeah. Sorry, we couldn't see it. Yeah, play it again, Sam.
To the paths we choose and the ones we don't. Cheers.
Now, that thing that came up by your head, it was small for me. Did it say Grok?
No, this is Sora.
Okay.
Yeah. So Sora has cameos. So what you do is you take your head and you put it in different things, and then you have to say 3 2-digit numbers, and then it takes your voice from that.
Chocolate crinkle cookies are favorite during the holidays. I made a purple yam version of them years ago that tasted even better than the chocolate ones. Purple yam. Wow. Well, it is starchy. I guess you could do that, right? That just sounds weird. And I've never heard of chocolate crinkle cookies. Yeah, I wasn't in prison. I just did prison ministry, just to clarify that.
Almost through.
Yeah. Here I am in the jungle.
Before you even play it, this looks like the loser that got that in Jurassic Park. That that gets eaten alive. That slides down the hill. Yeah, and has the wreck.
Okay. So here I am in the jungle.
Almost through. Whoa, that's a drop.
Oh, my. Easy, big fella. All right. I'm not here to cause trouble.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can just play with it, you give it suggestions, and it does it. But
I'm afraid that might get me arrested. I don't trust myself.
You know what? I got a laugh yesterday. I came across, there was a whole thing where people were making these Sora videos of cats through a doorbell cam, and they would have like machine guns, and they would be shooting off these guns, and then the woman would run out and say, "What are you doing? Let go of that gun," or whatever. And then they'd escalate it to where the cat was like in a tank or setting off a missile launcher or something. They were pretty funny.
Oh, I've seen the ones where they come to the front door, ring the doorbell or something. They got to, I've seen some of those stuff and played some of those things, and they, flips the cat around, or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And the owner comes out, "What are you doing?" Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen some of those.
They said that all these AI or video generators are training on like TikTok videos, and there's about 1 billion cat videos. So apparently they are very good at doing cats.
Yeah. Apparently it's for you Whovians out there, it's racist to say sea devils anymore. They identify as it's this new thing that they're gonna have come out with, this spinoff of Doctor Who. Where
I haven't has that come out yet? I haven't seen anything about it.
It hasn't come out yet, but it's getting ready to release. And yes, I could see where sailors or other people would call them sea devils, but that's not actually their underwater race name. I got it, but Russell T Davies bearing down on the identity politics, even in that, that's what it is to me. But it's a good point, but it's so stupid. It's racist to say sea devils. Wow. That's what's
I don't think they
driving people.
I don't think
away
they
from
actually
Who.
exist. Yeah. I don't think they actually exist.
It's fictional, right? Yeah. How can that anyway? How dear, if you want me to see that, you have to send it to me on X, please. The Yam thing, because I can't I'm going through Chrome for this, and I can't see the chat through Chrome because my system no longer supports. It's giving me the mobile app. Now, if I go to Foxfire, I can see the chat, but I can't access it and watch any videos. I can watch YouTube videos through Chrome, but it doesn't have the chat. And Firefox has the chat, but no videos. It's crazy. So any links, just like when I was on with Janet last night, it's like, if you want me to see this, you're going to have to directly DM me with it, because I can't get it off of YouTube when you just drop it in the chat or even the private chat. Can't do it.
Yeah, Rex, you're doing a lot of shows with ladies nowadays. Are you becoming a ladies' man?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're drawn to my intimacy and talking about cookies.
Oh, brother, I stepped right into that one. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, it was a big puddle. Mark, do not step. Yeah. I don't know what it is. She she had someone drop out because actually we talk about politics, which is a kind of a no-no, that in religion, but got good views, way over what we did the week before, which was Halloween. And I get that, because Halloween, a lot of people were gone or they were streaming themselves. But we'll see where this goes. I know that Bruce, that usually does that with her, is kind of bowed out, and she said, "Would you like to come on?" And then she even asked me this week, "Would you like to come on again?" And it's like, if you want to have me, sure. I thought I was a regular, but
there you go.
If you want to ask me every time, I get it. I don't shy away when it comes to politics type thing, but I can see where it would be wearing after a while. I mean, I don't know that any of us have any real solutions
Yeah.
to the
Yeah,
greater problems we bring up.
That's the problem with politics is everything is a complaint.
Well, kind of like the Eternals movie, they
takes
bring
you
up a lot
down,
of they bring up a lot of good questions, ethical questions, and where your allegiances are or whatever. But basically, the Eternals find out that they're pawns.
Yes.
And some of them are fine with being a pawn and even getting their memory erased, their whole identity, and start over. You know, it's kind of like how fanatical, if you can use that word, I guess, you got to be a fanatic at that point to serve a master that owns you, bought, you know, created you. Yes. I mean, but.
Well, I know one of the
free
cast
will really
members,
wasn't. Huh?
I was going to say one of the cast members was interviewed recently and said that when he signed up for it, it was like a six picture deal, and he thought, you know, my ship has come in, but they did the one movie and then that was it.
Yeah, it wasn't successful, really.
And then you saw they tried to introduce Blade and who was the other guy in the after credits thing?
Well, now, it was Dane Whitman, the Black Knight.
Oh, it was the Black Knight, but it was also somebody else, wasn't it?
And they mentioned earlier, is that the Ebony Blade, which is the blade that the Knight carries? And she said, no, this is Excalibur.
Oh, okay.
Athena, Angela Jolie's character.
But they had,
of course,
they had the Star Fox, wasn't it?
Star Fox. Oh yeah. Well, at the end, with Pip, the troll, and he's kind of like the Purple Man in the Marvel universe because women are drawn to him because of the pheromones, which he's supposed to be Thanos' brother. They're all on Titan, which you know is part of the Kree Skrull type.
But there again, we haven't seen any of those since then.
My tablet is fixed.
Yay!
All right.
I'm so excited. It started working.
Now he can do some of that AI BS.
So I started sketching, and this is a celebratory sketch that, I mean, it sucks, but this is what happiness looks like to an artist. Yay!
Yay!
I wouldn't say it sucks.
All right, Mark, how are you?
I'm doing okay.
Convince me. That didn't sound very. He had to think.
Well, yeah, I'm actually having to do some work this weekend for work, and I'd rather be working on my music video, but you have to pay the bills.
You're trying to stay in that mind space, aren't you?
It's hard.
Yeah,
because if that's the thing is that, you know, you can't really just have. I got 5 minutes. I'll work on a creative project for 5 minutes. You have to kind of get in the mode, and then you know you get distracted, and you can break it real easy.
I was thinking that there was elements. I had a very good day yesterday, Doc. I did a lot of writing for me. You know, I've done more.
Good,
but
good.
But yeah, I came up with sort of an origin and backstory for this wild-looking character, Thorn.
But did you actually write it?
Yes, I wrote it out. Yes, by long.
All right.
Yes, that's the way I work. Right. Yes. Yeah, and got a new beat on sort of my Sherlock Holmes-like detective Nora Gray. Some of her story, she's drawn into it, and another character called the Dreamer. So. Yeah, it's all pretty cool story. I'll tell you the synopsis of it sometime, you know. But yeah, yesterday was a good day.
You're looking very rutabaga-ish today. I just wanted to share that with you.
Who's that? Me or
Yeah.
Mark?
You.
Rutabaga-ish. Okay. I thought I was more like a radish or maybe a beet.
Well, I mean, your shirt.
Okay.
We've had this conversation. Your red shirt reads as orange on camera.
Oh, does it really? Okay. Well, it is
Yeah, it
red.
does look orange.
And when Mark came in, I said, please don't beam me down to the planet. Yeah. So I guess I was concerned needlessly, Mark, since it registers as orange. But
I
now
got the joke, but it does look orange. Yeah.
It does
Hey,
look
Greg,
orange
what's
to
up,
you.
buddy?
Well, I guess
Hey,
it does
Shadow Hawk.
now to me, now that you
Kind of-
say.
Kind of a burnt orange.
That's because I'm running through Windows 7 and every now and then it will flash me the thing. Your colors will not register correctly because of, and I'm like, yeah, when I hold up pieces like this, the magentas look more purple and yeah, there's variance in the colors, so not getting a true read on some colors with my system right now, but yeah, we'll work on it. So yeah, I'm very, very happy. Even thinking, in different areas, I'd love to do an audio book like you were talking about. You grab coffee man grabbing coffee. Oh, you're grabbing coffee. Be right back. Okay.
No, I'm
so I
back.
guess. Oh, he's back. Okay, you just haven't changed your name yet. Yeah. I was thinking like. I could even do a trailer. I could do bits and pieces, film things and collage it together, right? Or have somebody like you or Good Stuff or even Omer, cobble it together, because I kind of had some visuals, how to start a trailer. But it was something that I would have to film and show, which is basically like color being added to water, where you go outward,
Yeah, Mark,
right?
you're going to have to teach Rex how to storyboard.
I've storyboarded. Come on now. I've storyboarded. I've even got some Blue Line pad here that has it laid out, and you can even put comments off to the side. I'm kind of disjointed. I'm like a puzzle that you pour out of the box, and you slowly put it together, and it may not be in some
Missing
order.
a great many of the pieces.
Yeah.
Couple of different puzzles mixed into the same box.
Well,
okay,
I've not really thought about that analogy, but my mother watches puzzles. There you go. There's some of his storyboard.
This is the level I do, which is just enough that I know what shots I need.
As long as you can read
basic kind of thing. Yeah. I do not do I don't do fancy storyboards.
Yeah.
Turn off my camera.
I've had artists say, "Oh, I need stick figures." Just give me something.
When they choose to adapt comic books, I'm always curious why they need storyboards. You got the fucking comic book; it is a storyboard.
Yeah. Well, when you were working, you wanted reference, and I gave you some shots and whatnot.
You did not. You left me hanging.
Huh? Oh, now.
You left me hanging completely.
Okay, maybe. It's been a long time since that collaboration, so maybe. Yeah.
No, you gave me the reference for the clown, and then but you only had him from like the chest up, so that we collaborated on what he looks like, his total body, and.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's why I sent you, a picture. I think I emailed it to you that I did have the complete design from head to toe of him, a color scheme back when, but maybe I just didn't have it handy.
I will say, Doc, comic book storytelling and movie storytelling, there's a lot of similarities, but there's definitely things you can do in a comic that you can't do in a movie.
Well, sure.
Yeah, and it was funny. I was going back and reading some old Chris Claremont X-Men, And in the middle of a fight, somebody would have a 15-page,
Speech.
15 paragraph thought balloon where they're
Right.
thinking about it, and you're like going, that really couldn't happen in that space of that space of time. And there's just different things that, you fill in a lot of stuff on comic books when you're reading it. You don't need to see somebody grab a doorknob or something like that. Okay.
Now,
I
is
don't know what
that
to make of this.
Tweeka, my character Tweeka?
Yes, that's Tweeka.
Okay. That's
Remember,
wild
I told you
Tweeka.
I told you I did a sketch card of it. I thought I had mailed it to you, but I just found it.
Okay. All right. Wow. You just found it. Where was
But
it?
if you don't think it looks like Tweeka, I'll just throw it away.
Hey, did I say who is that? Is that I identified the character, didn't I? So apparently it looked enough like Tweeka for me to identify it. Where did you find it?
I was cleaning up my shelves over here.
Vast studio. Yeah, those shelves that you were going to get organized.
Yes. Yeah. One of these days, Alan. One of these days.
Yeah. I got some artwork back that I had scanned. Mine and some nice Ryan James artwork. So that some of that will go up on the campaign. Got a couple of the cards printed up, Doc. Don't know if you know. Of the John Dillard stuff. Just keep me in the loop. Very happy though to create a new character and then have a backstory like yesterday. And I really like that analogy I just made about the did you find that too?
Yep.
Is this a new find? Wow. Yeah, you never showed me this piece. You never did show me this piece. He looks like the Hunchback there. Hunchback of Notre Dame. Very menacing. Let's see that skull and crossbones. Let's see that a little closer.
That's actually not a skull and crossbones.
Oh, now is that like Crom? That looks a lot like Crom.
No, it's I was doodling an idea for when you had, I forget what it was, coming up out of a grave.
Well, I know you also did a slaver.
Yeah, I think this was like a slaver minion. So like I did a drawing of slaver climbing up out of a grave, and I had those little minions all around him. But I lost it. Don't you hear any?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a slaver. Let's see tonight. Let's see.
You've got the slaver card I sent you though.
Yeah, tomorrow. I mean tonight. I think we'll probably have a draw stream. I've been working on the sketch cards. The last one I did was Lady Bog.
Oh, get out of here with Lady Bog. What's wrong with you?
Well, I mean, and I did Bags. He's a new character.
Is there also a Bog Jr.?
Is there a Bog Jr.? No, there's not a Bog Jr. yet. As soon as I create a Lady Bog, people want them to copulate. I don't know what that is about. I've got the director there.
Didn't somebody send you some turnaround blanks?
Turnaround blanks. Can you explain that one?
Full body blanks, front, back, sides, for you to design your characters on.
No, nobody ever did. Nope. No, I got some blanks and frontal blanks, 1 page, and I just got that scanned. And I made new characters, the 43 out of that, the start of the concept of the 43.
Instead of doing the little busts, as your concept designs, if you have a whole bunch of those blanks, you can design the full character each time.
What I do is generally, I start with the head, and I then I can extrapolate maybe a name, powers, and their costume from. My very first.
Look, that gives you a consistent reference to go back to, and it gives you something to show artists that are working for you.
Oh, I totally agree with you, brother. I totally agree with you. I first did Thorn on one of these little sketch cards, and then I did this larger piece here, but I still don't have him on. But I mean, he basically from an envelope ideal, you know, of like, okay, there he is right there.
Mark, I need you to be a character in my book.
Okay, because of my AI avatar.
Yeah. I mean, I need you to be Detective Lieutenant Tom Ryan. He's
Okay.
Bishop's pal on the force.
Yeah, I was telling Rex, I did this. I asked it to put me in Casablanca, and that's what it did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, I know that's his favorite movie that he's watched
Yes, it
over
is.
and over and over again. Yeah.
Yes, and we'll probably watch it again tonight. I'm about due.
If I were
It's
to
a
go to
great film.
Glock, what I would probably
Yeah.
do is say, make me a short of King Kong and Casablanca mixed in.
Oh, Lord help. My nephew,
Because that's
is,
my favorite movie, and that's your favorite movie.
my
Let's just
nephew
combine
makes movies, short movies, and he is enamored with the golden age. So years ago he did a King Kong, and now he has done the Mummy. But all he's got is a little black and white trailer, and it's okay. You can tell he doesn't have the very best of equipment to work with.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to see if I can get him to do a scene from Damn Dirty Thing for me and see what we get.
Now to circle back on your question, I did have some not turnaround blanks, but I did have some of the characters fully, you know, from side, back, whatever. But I didn't have all of them done. I think I had.
Well, I was going to say
Bow.
you've got your friend that is a printer. I would say, excuse me, get yourself a pack of Bristol, and then download a template, front, back, side, turnaround, male and female, and then go and get her to just print on that.
Is that
Bristol.
what you've done? Some of the characters you've showed me, it's got like a template that you designed those years ago on.
I used templates in the 90s, but I don't need to anymore. I can sketch out a full thing quick, you know.
Right. Yeah. I've been wanting to get, you know, an artist to do me some more blanks, you know, and then do it that way.
They're online, Rex. They're free images. You can just download them.
Okay.
Here you go, Rex. Here's Bog Baby.
That's it.
Oh, there you go.
That's it.
$1 million idea. There you go.
Yeah. There you go. Well, yeah, I don't know what it is. I created a ladybug, and then all of a sudden they want to copulate. You know, it's like, can they get just because she's ladybug doesn't mean that she's together with, you know.
It's almost
Bog.
like you and cookies. Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Mark,
maybe.
turn your camera on. Let me get a look at your grill.
Let's get
a look at you here. Yeah, we got all you need is some hair product and a fedora.
Oh, hang on a sec.
And the music, boom, 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 boom. And some books on that spinner rack back there, Mark. Jeez, you are procrastinating about that.
So Lieutenant Ryan isn't the only honest cop in Solomon City, but he's the only cop Bishop trusts.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
There you go.
You got a trench coat?
I do not. Well, I think I've got an old one I don't fit in anymore.
I think they confiscated it last time he went out flashing.
There you go. I mean, you know, go buy yourself. Go buy. I know you don't smoke, but go get yourself a pack of cigarettes so you have the prop.
Yeah.
And you're him. You're him. Lieutenant
I know
Ryan.
what you're saying about the blanks, but also, yeah, I mean, I've done it for so long. I've, you know, creating, like you say, the bust or just the head, whatever. I've come a long way with the 43, just doing it that way, you know, doing the sketch cards. I've created new characters and stuff for it. So it works for me.
But I'm going to tell you though, with your little Stanley mind of creating, you need to have all your characters in turnaround as a library.
I know that. Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let me finish. For two purposes, not just to be able to show to artists that are working for you, but that's your copyright package.
Yeah.
You take all of them. You go make a copy of them. You seal them up in an envelope, mail them to yourself. Poor man's copyright.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I can't wait to get this stuff to the point of development where I can have like a Marvel handbook, and have a Bible, like you said, with all the turnarounds of different.
How Dear says, Rex, if you send me some scanned character art on X, I can try animating them with Grok if you want.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Yeah. I definitely have some concepts. I mean, even when I was working with Pedro, I thought it would be cool if Devil Flyer dropped out of the sky, and landed and sort of planted his trident there, to his side, and that would be the beginning of the animated type thing. But I'm thinking, I'm not even thinking AI now. I'm thinking like, film sequences, almost, and maybe it was the Godzilla movies. They do a montage of the monarch kaijus around the world and stuff at the beginning of the movie. Maybe that's kind of what stuck in the back of my brain. I was like, I was thinking about the sequence of like just the infusion of color into water, and how that would be hard to animate, but very easy to film, And that got me thinking about, maybe I need to be filming some clips and working on a trailer, eventually, and have it cobbled together by somebody who's more competent, like you or Mark or Omer or Good Stuff, into a trailer eventually. But I would have to think about, like you say, storyboard out the whole thing, what I wanted. Now, my next comic book project, or one that I'd love to do with Janet from Another Planet, she's going to host my launch next time. She's going to cosplay one of my characters. Now, what the character is going to be? She's a hoot. Yeah, you were in the chat yesterday.
Yeah, I couldn't stay for the whole thing. I wish I could have hung out, but
yeah, I kind of got frothy, didn't I? A little feisty.
You did. You got a little fired up, and you were almost coherent.
Lord forbid, Doc. Lord forbid. Yeah. What do you do, Doc, on your creative days where you need to create something, but you're just not feeling it? Do you take the day off, or do you push on?
I do it. I do it anyway.
You do it anyway.
Yeah. Look. There's a video over on my Fine Art channel that you need to watch.
Okay.
Called Artist Block.
Yeah.
How to deal with artist block. And I had the great William Intrican, who was a world famous painter, commented on it and said, "Thanks, Doc. I needed to hear this," which blew me away because I've been a fan of his forever.
Yeah.
And of course, he just passed away like a year and a half ago. But basically, there's no such thing as artist block.
I mean, I don't acknowledge it. I don't have an artist block. So when people go, or in writing and stuff, it's look.
I teach at my art school because my students will say the same thing, Rex. They have the same question. And this is usually my introductory to painting course. I tell them to, they're usually standing at their easel. I'll tell them to grab your brush, and then I grab their hand and I dip it into whatever color paint is closest. And I tell them, put it on the canvas, close your eyes, and smear it around. And they do. And then I say, you've got 1 minute to make that into something. And I walk away, and boom, no more block. All you got to do is get into motion.
Yeah. I agree with that. That's a good little lesson right there. Absolutely.
My strategy with writing is I always know what happens next when I stop writing. Because if I stop when I don't know what's happening next, that's when I can get stuck and not get back into it. But if I know tomorrow I get to write this thing that I already know is going to happen, then I'm excited about doing it the next day, and I'll get back.
Yeah.
And you got a little bit of solution to the
Lori,
problem.
Lori Calcaterra and I were cutting up, but we both have this in common. I'll sit and daydream. and I can write entire scenes in my brain. And
Yep.
Lori does it too, and we both have the same response. Somebody will say, "What are you doing?" And I will say, "I'm writing.
I'm composing." Right.
I'm sitting there dead quiet in a dead quiet room, and I'm writing scenes. Usually I'm writing dialogue in my head. That's how my stories all start.
That's what I was doing yesterday. Just, it was all coming to me. You know, I woke up that way, and before I even got out of bed, it's like, okay, I got like 3 things to write down here. And that was the impetus and the start. And then when I sit in there, I had this picture of Thorn sitting in front of me already from the night before. And I just looked at that picture, the character, and then what, I wanted to do with that. And it just kind of flowed, thinking about, and you're right. If I had somebody else in the house, like my sister or something, they'd say, "Rex, what are you doing?" It's like, I'm sitting here writing. I'm being creative. Yeah, I'm working. I'm thinking about things. I'm thinking things through.
I fall asleep.
And I wrote a lot of dialogue, like you said.
I fall asleep dreaming about the work. And I wake up, and other than my first little quick prayer to God, thank you for another day, bless me in it, immediately my brain goes to work. I'm making coffee, my brain is working. I'm sitting quietly drinking coffee, my brain is working. Then I come back here to the keyboard, and I don't, the carpal tunnel is bad enough where I don't type anymore. I dictate, and then go back and edit all the boo-boos that dictation makes for you.
Yeah.
And,
see, that's a style I've never thought I could do, because I read once the guy who wrote all those Perry Mason novels, that he dictated every single one of those. And I just can't imagine thinking in a completed form. I like you said, daydreaming dialogue and stuff. I do that, but I don't think I could just start talking in complete sentences.
Well, Mark, this is how it works. You just, like, let's say I'm writing a paragraph that's maybe a scene introduction. I'll dictate it, and there'll be screw ups, and I'll dictate it again and again and again, and then I just go and I edit it. So you just got to be a good editor and cobble it together. It doesn't matter. Like the dictation software will get stuff wrong. It'll use a wrong word. It'll mishear something. Doesn't matter. You just keep going. You don't stop and go, "Oh, let me fix that." No, you just keep going. Then you go back.
Okay. So you're dictating, and it's writing out what you're saying.
Yes.
In real time, so you see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
On your computer, Mark, you can hold down the Windows key and hit the letter H, and it will automatically take your dictation on anything where the cursor is. It doesn't matter if it's Messenger, Facebook, Twitter, Word, Excel. Doesn't matter. It'll take down your dictation.
Yeah, I'm assuming there's a Mac equivalent, but okay. So that's because I was thinking of it in terms. I watched a documentary about that Perry Mason guy, and he would just Earl Stanley Gardner, was that it? I can't remember now, but he would just hold a microphone. But he was a lawyer, so he was already used to dictating, letters and stuff like that. But he would just sit there and he would go new paragraph, and he said, but he wasn't seeing it visually; he's just doing it in his head. But I guess if you can see it there, then that's helpful at least. Because when you said editing, I was thinking you have to go back to the audio tape and edit the audio tape. But no, you just
There's think about this too. And I frequently think about this. Arthur Conan Doyle, when he wrote Sherlock Holmes, he would write the beginning of the story in the morning after breakfast. And then he would take a leisurely early afternoon. He'd have lunch, go for a walk, and he'd come home and he'd write the end. But he was writing it longhand with a fountain pen. Could you imagine if we were trying to do that way these days?
Dipping ink like this all the time.
Yeah, the dipping ink part, because I used to write tons of stuff on notebook paper, and still have tons of those. But nowadays I couldn't do it. I can sit down to write something by hand, and I'm lucky if I can get 3 or 4 words before it starts to turn into squiggly lines.
Hieroglyphics that even you can't read. I'm right there
Yeah.
with you.
I mean,
Well-
it's just not something I do enough nowadays. You know, I sign my name or I write some little short thing, but to sit down and actually start writing a long thing, yeah, it's like I just trail off and I just start making marks that have something to do with letters.
If Doc looked at my writing, he's like, "What the crap is this?" Because sometimes I'll start at the bottom and go up to the next line and go up to the next line. So it's your beginning line is on bottom. So I'm writing backwards on the sheet.
I remember my days of working in medicine. You know, there's a medical shorthand that is quite extensive, and we all used it. But aside from that, you know, people talk about, oh, I can't read the doctor's writing on the prescription. I could read them, and I could read their notes, and they could read mine because they look the same. You learn how to interpret those squiggles. And
Hey, Apex.
I honestly think I learned to do it because it's life and death. This is in the ER. You better read it right the first time.
Yeah. I mean, mine's all over the place. You know, it's disjointed. And
Hal dear, it's good to see you, man. I haven't seen you
dyslexic,
around in a
it's
while.
backwards. So I guess I'm kind of like Galileo. You know, if the Inquisition ever comes, it'll be in code anyway. They won't be able to read it and go with it.
Leonardo, not Galileo.
No, Galileo did it too. He had a note back. He had notes encrypted
Okay.
as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now Apex brings it up. I used to enjoy lettering when I did it manually with the Ames lettering guide.
Yeah.
And I don't mind lettering my own comic books digitally. I mean, it's okay. It's a little tedious. But it is enjoyable to do the lettering. It's not enjoyable to letter someone else's work. No fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I've already paid Keith Gleason to letter 20 pages, but I just got to get him the dialogue so he can start his leg of the journey.
That means you've got to write it, Rex. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, now I already have the Grave Tale story written, so I just have to find it and get it to him. And he's already got the file of the artwork. So
now, wait a minute. Before you send it to him for lettering, send it to me so I can give you an editorial pass. Make sure everything's good.
I will. Yeah.
And before you send it to Doc, write it from the top of the page to the bottom.
Right, instead of backwards, or off in the columns, yeah.
I hope you're going to type it, Rex.
But I'm that type. It's like,
Rex, you're gonna type it, not write it, right?
You know, with me, it was like, okay, Thorn part up here, down here, it's like Nora Gray part or the Dreamer part, you know, because my ideal is to tell this through one of the 43, and her powers are like a dreamscape, and she's connected to all the other 43 members, right?
That has nothing to do with Grave's Tale
through her dreams. So that's how you tell the story.
Did you hear how he just moved off that topic, Mark?
Yeah, because he's not going to type it.
Yeah.
Rex, look, right in front of you.
Ask Lynn Fleming.
But beside that mouse that you're always holding, there's this thing called a keyboard.
Yeah.
And you can actually, but if you don't want to type, Rex, you can do what I said. You can open a Word document and hold down the Windows key and then the letter H and just talk into your microphone. And it'll dictate it.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, I did not know that. And, you know, I've bought through the years several recording devices, especially for college or something to pick up on, and they never quite work. You know, I feel like Kojak with that little cassette tape recorder, you know, all the time. The Night Stalker trying to dictate a story and save it for print. AI will eventually get good enough to translate messy handwriting. Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know
sure
if AI can decipher Rex's backwards writing.
Maybe. I mean, and I don't do it in cursive. I print it. I print it out. I print it. I'm actually pretty good at printing. My
So maybe you can
cursive has
you can
not
cut-
evolved at all.
Yeah, maybe you can cut out the lines and then paste them together in the right order.
Yeah. Well, now I've got binders full, but yeah, it's yeah. I just hope that when I revisit some of this old stuff, Mark, I can make heads or tails of it.
Mark, I'm going to put my my email in the private chat, and I'm not kidding. I want you to send me your thumbnail of yourself right here, your avatar.
Okay.
I'm going to use you for Lieutenant Ryan.
All right, I'll send you the Sora video that it made.
Okay.
I put it in the present thing.
So, Doc,
But,
why are you using him as an archetype?
Because he looks like him.
Okay.
It is hilarious how serious I look, and that little video. I wonder if can I stick that?
I mean, you can send me the video, but I really like to just have that image so I can just draw it.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
All right. So
Probably the most important thing I could write is a sign that says help. Send help now. Try taking a photo, scanning your notes, and see if OCR can turn it into type text. Yeah. I mean, I definitely have to get my scanning, find my other scanner,
Rex,
because
stop
I've got so
overthinking it.
much artwork to scan.
That's true, but don't overthink how you're going to generate this script for your letter
Right.
and your editor.
Yeah.
Just generate it as a Word document, whether you write it yourself or you dictate it.
Yeah.
So that we can give it a good, solid foundation and be a good story.
I'll have it all typed up for you, Doc, when you want to go to edit it. Don't worry.
I'm waiting on you.
And so is the letter.
Yeah,
That's
especially
only
if
one
you've
9-page story in a much larger project.
I was gonna say you've already paid for it. You may as well get her done. Get her done.
Yeah.
Hell, Apex, what's up? Okay.
Hey, Apex.
I'm gonna have to bounce. I'm being summoned.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get out of here anyway. So
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
The algorithm says don't go over 2 hours and 15 minutes. So we're pretty close to the mark.
Ooh.
So.
Keep collecting.
Keep collecting.
There you go. And that's, I mean, boom. Keep collecting. All three of us. How about that?